Oh my God, look at my face. I am burnt. I've been out in the sun today. In the northwest of England, it's been a really nice day and didn't wear sun cream. Look at that. Oh my God. Always wear sun cream. What an absolute error. So it's 10 months since my transplant. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos because this is now month 10. So if you want to see the full progress, you've got to check those out. Now today I wanted to really focus on the crown because this is something that I actually forget about all the time. Naturally, it's on the top, you're not seeing it when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and stuff. My crown had receded a lot before I even realized. I had 1,200 grafts on my crown and 2,300 in the front. So I mean, all the other videos that I've done have been about the front. I didn't want to, it's looking the same pretty much. Every time I do a video, I'm always in the stage of wanting a haircut. Now, I have had my haircut since the last video, but to be honest, the barber butchered me really because I told him I wanted to still grow the length on top, so just to do the sides. And I was also growing a beard, and he ended up shaving most of that off as well and cutting loads of length off the hair. So, I mean, if you look there, it's pretty much down to my eyebrows, but it was down there at about 6 months, so I have lost out there. In terms of the length and the style, it's very much what I used to always do. So for me, that's the thing since my hair transplant, on top, looking great. I really think that the top does look, you wouldn't know. I mean, that's the thing. Even the front, really, no one would know I've had a hair transplant. That's why I think it's what I would call a successful hair transplant. But particularly the crown, at the front, someone mentioned here about doubles and stuff, and and on this side it's a little bit thin in places, but in terms of the crown, no one would ever, not that I think they would at the front either, but no one would ever know that ever receded. Do you know what I mean? And I think for a lot of people it does recede. So with me, 1,200 grafts on top, and to be honest, Dr. Balwi, elite hair transplant in Turkey, he didn't seem keen on doing the crown. In a way, he tried to talk me out of it. And obviously from doing research, and I think a lot of people have said this on my other videos, a lot of crown transplants, don't seem to work. Either it doesn't grow back properly or there seems to be some issue. So what Dr. Balwi said was if you really want to go ahead with it, I can go ahead with it, but I need to go on to Finasteride and Minoxidil. So Finasteride is these little pills here. I get them from an online pharmacy, costs about £12 a month, something like that. So over 120 quid a year, but it seems to be working. And that's the thing. I don't know how much the transplant alone has done, how much these pills have done, if anything, and obviously the regain, the minoxidil, which I'm taking for 12 months and I'm slowly easing it out now. So I'm taking it like once every 2 or 3 days, rubbing it in, massaging it in the evenings. So really, yeah, it's a funny one. Whether all three are working together, whether the transplant alone would have been enough. So I don't put any Finasteride, I don't put any minoxidil on the front, any regain on the front. I'm purely using it on the crown. So that's why my 3-month supply is lasting the full year, because I'm not using it twice a day, which is what it says on the bottle, because from doing research, you don't need to. And yeah, I'm not obviously using a lot all over. I'm just using it on a little bit on the crown. So my crown, I have got some better footage, but my crown is looking really good. And again, it's a funny one, right? Because your crown, where they've put the new follicles, the new hairs have been implanted. This is the thing, right? Finasteride, someone asked me why I'm taking it. And obviously it's to help the hair grow. I do regret never trying it before my transplant for both the front and the crown. That's the thing. I don't know how much Finasteride is helping me because I never tried it in the first place. So I've got nothing to compare it to. So if you are in a position like I was, I would certainly recommend trying it out just to see. And obviously if you do get any side effects, I've been lucky, not had anything really. I got a little bit rash at the start, but that went really quickly. So no side effects in terms of, libido and things like that, which I know some people are worried about. Obviously, if you are going to try it, I'm not a doctor, speak to a doctor, but if you are going to try it, only get maybe 1 or 2 months supply, and then if there are any side effects, you can cut it out. So I wish I had tried it just to then see what effect it's done, because I now technically am on this for life. Because obviously I'm not going to stop, because I don't know what will happen if I do stop. Whereas the regain, I'm easing that out, and hopefully there'll be no shedding, and that won't cause any problems. But yeah, with the crown and obviously the rest of my hair really. So where these new hairs have come here and where they've gone on there, what about the rest of my hair, like the other areas? That could potentially, as I get older, recede and I could lose hair. So that's what finasteride is for really, to keep the hair thicker and, make sure you're not losing it in the other places. Because particularly on the crown, I watched a great video from an Indian doctor and he explains it perfectly, where the crown, I could then go further bald, like around it, but it would leave the new hairs, wouldn't it? So the new hairs would then sit weirdly on my head as like an island. So that is a risk of doing the crown if you go bald around it. But now for me, like some of the people in my comments, my balding has never been as bad as some people. So I receded a bit at the front here, particularly on the right side, and it literally stopped growing. Whereas now I can grow all this and, there's no issues at all. So I was never going completely bald. I was just receding a little bit and it had stabilized. So I really don't think I'm going to get any balder, any more recession. But obviously now the finasteride is really going to help prevent that completely. So with the crown, for me, using the 1,200 on the crown as opposed to bringing this hairline a bit lower, maybe bringing it a bit lower, that you can even see where it's white and I've got sunburn here. But, for me, it was a no-brainer to actually use it on the crown so that now, it all looks good. Now, the hairline itself, this has been a battle for me. I'm constantly looking in the mirror, constantly thinking about hairstyles and constantly thinking, should it have come down lower? This is something I'll, again, discuss in the 12-month video. But for now, today's video about the crown, I'm particularly pleased with the crown. So that is my 10-month update, and today was more about the crown. I just want to sort a decent haircut out, I'm not sure. So there we go, month 10.